Any further comments? Representative Finnegan.
I think I'm being called out, Mr. Speaker. I am going to vote in opposition to this measure.
Please proceed in your opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Okay. Mr. Speaker, this is the infamous EPOD bill, the Eligibility Processing Operations, I think, division it's called. And let me just talk about what this bill is. This has to do with a project a modernization project within the eligibility area within the Department of Human Services for programs like Medicaid, for programs like food stamps, or now what's called SNAP, and cash assistance, and other programs. And what this program was meant to be, and across the nation, what they found is that through a different application process, through modernization of using technology, whether it be phones or online, and mainly phones, and organizing workflow in a different way, consolidating, all of these different things in a big modernization program, that you will find across the nation that services to the vulnerable are quicker and easier for the client, number one. And the federal government has been pursuing and encouraging states to move in this direction. Mr. Speaker, when I look at that and when people hear that, they say, you know, of course, don't we want to do that? Government should try and do what it can to have quicker and easier services for the clients. So in this case, the controversy in this bill is in this program of modernizing this program. The Department of Human Services director had mentioned that she will close down 31 smaller offices and consolidate into 2 processing offices in Hilo and Honolulu. Well, what has taken place since then is that there was a bill and a variety of committee hearings talking about how the legislature did not want this to move forward. And then a bill that arose on final reading, the changes that were made, was about doing a pilot project only for the island of Oahu. I objected during the final reading of that bill because I felt that in doing just the pilot program, that you really changed the whole essence of the program and the modernization. Mr. Speaker, you know, I don't mean to offend anyone that works in government, but oftentimes, if we don't speak up for what we feel is best for the people of Hawaii, for the taxpayers of Hawaii, for these vulnerable that I believe, through all the things that I've read, whether it be in SNAP manuals or whether it be in correspondence going back and forth with the testimony from the Department of Human Services, or letters between the regional administrator and the Department of Human Services, I believe that this program is better for the people of Hawaii because it does, number one, give quicker service and is easier for these clients. So what does that mean? Usually when you take applications, you can either do it face-to-face or through the mail or through fax. In the MedQuest division right now, 85% of their applications come through the mail. Mr. Speaker, what this program does, aside from all the modernization of streamlining and doing things differently, it also introduces using the phone to take applications, as well as online applications. Through using the phone and using online, they're finding that these services, these application services, end up being much quicker and much more efficient to the workflow. That the design of the old model doesn't work as quickly or as efficiently, and you get services to your client much faster. It's about being able to accomplish something that you don't think you can accomplish. But when you see that there are elements of accomplishment, when you have a 20-day application process of approval brought down to 6.2 days, when you have situations like a work stoppage, when you one of the comments that the previous speaker made, save people before money.
Is to save money, not to save people, but to save money. And this legislature here has spoken. It's people before money.
So does this mean save jobs before people? Because that's what the work stoppage was all about. There was no continuing of taking applications. It was, we need to make a point that 800 more applications in the MedQuest division are not going to be done because of this plan, because we want to stop this plan. That's what I heard in those numbers. Mr. Speaker, we may not see how this is going to be done, but if it's happening in other areas, and the biggest part of this plan, aside from redirecting workflow, are the phones. The phones have been around a very long time. People have been talking on phones and communicating on phones for a very long time.
But guess what? They don't have faxes. They don't have emails. They don't have cell phones.
Online applications isn't an email. It's like when you do an application online.
Rep.
But
Finnegan,
that's only part of
your
it.
3 minutes coming up shortly.
Thank you,
Please
Mr. Speaker.
summarize.
I do have a lot of comments in rebuttal, but I did want to say, let's think differently. Let's believe in a system that can be better than we have today.
Thank you very much.
Today, the House of Representatives can override the governor's veto of Senate Bill 2650, Conference Draft 1, and we can stop DHS Director's plan to close every single public assistance office in our state. For all of the foregoing reasons, I support a veto override of Senate Bill 2650 to ensure that 228 hardworking DHS employees continue to provide essential services to over 300,000 of our most needy residents in our state. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.